Good morning, my loves. Happy Wednesday. Beautiful day here at the lake. It's in the high 80s. We actually had a little rain during the night, just a little bit, but it was kind of a nice change. Have had a great response to the disrespect topic. So we're going to continue that today, and we are going to discuss disrespect in the workplace. Anybody who has ever worked outside the home at any point in time has either witnessed it or experienced it firsthand, and it's always a good topic. Never allow anyone to disrespect you at work, at home, wherever. No means no. Don't call people out of their name, and don't allow them to call you out of your name. I mean, it's just, basic, play nice, but not everybody knows how, and not everybody will. If you feel you are being disrespected at work, first thing to do is write it down. Keep a log, whether that's a legal pad, a steno pad, a spiral notebook. Write it down. Date, time, what happened, witnesses, and exactly what happened. If a coworker insulted you, if they said something inappropriate, if they made a sexual advance to you, sabotaged your work, whatever it is, make a note. Send an email to your superior. Absolutely. And share everything that's in your note. If it happens again, sometimes everybody has a one-off kind of day and things get said. If it happens again, make a note in your log. Send a note to your immediate supervisor. This time copy HR. Let them know. Don't go on a rant about, I feel so disrespected and I'm so hurt and how dare they. Just say, I want to make you aware of whoever doing whatever. I feel this is a toxic work environment. That will perk their ears up. If you go on a rant, it's just like, yeah, whatever, somebody's whining again. Once you use the term toxic work environment, that's an attention getter, because that means they could face legal action. Working in a toxic work environment is illegal. People intentionally, continually calling you out of your name, that's a no-no. Making sexual advances, no. Publicly humiliating you, even if it's your boss, coming up to you in front of everybody and just ripping into you, whether they're in the right or in the wrong, that can make it a toxic work environment. So just be aware. Write everything down, because God forbid at some point, if you get mad and quit, if they let you go, if it is indeed a true toxic work environment, you need to contact an employment attorney. Just look them up in the online, or I've almost said the phone book. Nobody uses a phone book anymore. Look up employment attorneys in your area, and there will be a huge list, I'm sure. But so often it's he said, she said, unless you have the notes. If you are an employer and you have witnessed inappropriate behavior, inappropriate dress, inappropriate attitudes, somebody speaking just horribly to a patient or to a client, write it down. Just like I said, write everything down in that employee's file. Call them in, talk to them, make a note that you have talked to them, and have them sign off that they have received a warning. Document everything. So if they do leave, if you discharge them, even if it's an at-will state, which means you can fire people just because you want to fire them, cover your ass. Write everything down. So, types of disrespect: being called out of your name, being inappropriately touched, somebody making fun of your religion, how you speak, the language that you speak, your gender, your ethnicity, I think I said religion, how you dress. Just, you may have a disability. Yeah, they can't do that. They can't. And if they do, tell them, hey, don't. I don't appreciate it. Stop. Because they're going to ask you, HR will say, well, what did you do? And you can say, I told them to stop. I don't appreciate this. Okay. And then you go back to your desk and you write everything down. Every single time. They can't do that. Now, if it's a client or a patient and they're going off on you because they're waiting on test results and they didn't come back, or, they're waiting to hear from the attorney, or they don't want to talk to a paralegal, they want to talk to an attorney, or whatever the case may be, and they're going off on you, tell them, I understand your frustration. Acknowledge that you're not blowing them off. I understand your frustration. I would be frustrated too. However, that does not give you the right to speak to me in this manner or to disrespect me in this manner. I will have them get back with you, or we will get in touch with you, whatever. When you get off the phone, make a note in their file, everything that happened. Do not exaggerate. Write everything down. And then send a note to your supervisor and to, if you're in a law firm, to the attorney, if you're in a medical facility, to the doctor. Because I guarantee you, they will be hearing about it. And just cover your ass. But be respectful toward the patients and the clients, always. But do not tolerate disrespect. You can't speak to me in that manner. If you wish to call back, after you've calmed down, I'll be more than happy to discuss this with you. It's that easy. But don't allow people to disrespect you. Do not, and this is going a little further, if there's an office party, and there will be, 4th of July, St. Patrick's Day, Christmas, whatever, there's a lot of parties, depending on where you work. The firm I worked with in St. Louis, we went to a lot of the Cardinals games. They would get a party suite. Yeah, be careful what you say, think, and do in that party suite when you are drinking at an office party. It can come out to bite you. It will. If you get inebriated, people will see and hear what you're saying, and it can affect your job. Because now they know exactly what you really think of them, what you really think of your job and your coworkers. Because people get a little uninhibited sometimes. Don't drink at office parties. Behave yourself. If you have a dress code, read the dress code. Observe the dress code. Don't dress inappropriately. If you work in a professional setting, dress professionally. Nothing too short, nothing too tight. If you're a guy, nobody wants to see your underwear, pull your pants up, that kind of stuff. It's respect. Respecting yourself, respecting your coworkers, the patients, and the clients. Pretty simple stuff. But never allow anyone to disrespect you physically, verbally, sexually. Stand your ground. No means no. And if it is indeed a toxic work environment, write it down. I know a lot of places, I consult, and so I'll go into an office for a week, a month, maybe a year to help with some cases, and I love it. And a lot of times they will say, when I'm talking to the attorney before, when we're discussing my fees and things, they'll say, hey, just so you know, we cuss a lot around here. I say, okay, that's fine. I've heard it before, no big deal. Or maybe it's a very proper setting, and they will say, we expect suits every day, even though you're consulting, we would appreciate you wearing a suit. That's fine. Find out as much as you can when you start. And if it isn't a good fit and you're not comfortable with that type of work environment, don't take the job. Even though it's great money, you're going to be miserable. If it isn't a good fit, it's not a good fit. If you get in and you find out, yeah, this is not for me, get the hell out. Don't disrespect yourself for the dollar, for the job, for the title, because you're going to be miserable. Respect yourself first and foremost. Always. Don't tolerate disrespect. And if anybody is going off on you, I don't care if it's in the break room, if it's your boss or whomever, say, excuse, and very politely and calmly, always stay calm. Excuse me, can we have this conversation somewhere else? And they may say, oh, hell no. Okay. Let them just whatever. And when they're done, don't say a word. You could say thank you. Okay, acknowledged. That's it. Write everything down. Write absolutely everything down. If it's an employee, like I said, email your immediate supervisor and HR. Let them know. Cover your ass. Above all, always cover your ass. But don't tolerate disrespect. Don't tolerate somebody making a pass at you, somebody saying something suggestive or inappropriate. No, you can't do it. Don't dress inappropriately, because then you can kind of be inviting some problems. If you wear something really, really, really short or, cut down to your navel, in an office, people are going to look. Well, then you can't complain because you're kind of asking for the problem a little bit, you know? Don't invite trouble. And I know I'm going to get a lot of negative comments about that you can dress however you want to dress. Well, okay. Years ago, when I was at the hospital, this was in the 80s, a nursing student. And when nursing students come, you just kind of roll your eyes because it's like kindergarten. And she comes in, and I mean, everybody knows you're working in an intensive care setting. We don't even wear rings. You might wear a watch, but you don't wear rings because you're wearing gloves all the time and all of this stuff. And she wore jewelry. I don't know what to call it. It was kind of an earring, nose ring thing. It was an earring, but there was a chain that went to her nose. And she was immediately told, that's going to have to go. Don't tell me what to do. I can do whatever I want. Okay. The charge nurse warned her. Okay. And she was there maybe an hour before somebody grabbed that nose ring or nose chain, whatever it was, yanked that. Yeah, she had a bloody mess on her hands and ended up in the ER and went home. And she was written up because she had been warned and didn't take it out anyway. She was inviting a problem. You know, it's just people don't listen. So don't be attention seeking. I mean, it's okay to dress nice and to look professional and for somebody to say, you really look nice today. Love the shirt, love the jacket. You know, is that a new cologne? You know, I love your tie. That is wonderful. And people appreciate that. But I mean, I have an ample chest. And if guys are talking to me and they're staring at my chest, I'll say, hey, up here, guys. My eyes are up here. Because, yeah, I don't want the attention. No. So just be smart. Respect yourself, respect others, and never tolerate disrespect, even in the workplace. No job, no amount of money is worth your dignity and your self-respect. You are worthy.